Going on first grade, Mr. Hunter here with your reading lesson for this week. We are on week 17, day number 1, and we are going back to talk about fantasy and reality. All right. So we remember what we've done with fantasy and reality, right? You guys remember? Well, if not, here's a refresher. All right. This week we're practicing telling the difference between what can really happen and what is make believe. So what can really happen and what is make believe? Do you guys want an example? Okay, I got an example for you. All right. Another word for make-believe is fantasy. So fantasy and make-believe, they're the same thing. But something that can really happen is called a reality. All right. So make-believe and fantasy, everybody say make-believe. Everybody say fantasy. Those are two things that are the same. Everybody say reality. Reality. Reality is something that can really happen. All right. So here's an example. All right. Here's something example. I go to school at 7:30 a.m. in my car. Is that fantasy or reality? Is that fantasy or reality? I drive to school every day in my car. All right, what about this? What about this? Eliana, Dylan, Sam, Jeremiah? I get to school every day at 7:30 a.m. on my rocket ship. I get to school every day at 7:30 a.m. on my rocket ship. Which one is fantasy? Which one is reality? I think you guys know I don't have a rocket ship. So that's fantasy, or what we call make believe. All right. So let's read the directions on page week 17, day number 1. We're going to read the story and we're going to ask ourselves, what is make believe and what can happen? Looking at the picture there, remember, good readers always look at the picture to see if they know. Do we have any clues? I know this story is about a girl. I see some clouds. I don't know anything else, but I know the story is about a girl just by looking at the picture. All right. So let's read. We know what we're doing. I'm going to read it the first time with you. You're going to pause the video and you're going to read it again yourself. And then we'll go over the questions. All right, here we go. Hannah ran outside. It rained every day at 2 o'clock. She saw clouds form in the sky. They were mixed with colors. Some clouds were red and green. Some were purple and orange. Then Hannah heard a loud rip. The clouds ripped open like paper bags. Hannah held out her hands. Lollipops fell from the sky. Hannah liked living in Candyland. All right, guys, what do you think about that story? Fantasy or reality? Well, what I need you to do is I need you to pause the video right now and read it again yourself. All right? I'll see you in just a second for the questions. All right, everybody. You've read the story for a second time. I think you might have a good idea of what fantasy and reality is now. So let's read the questions below. I'm going to read the question and read the answers, and you have to bubble in which one you think is correct. For number 1, what in the story can really happen? A, clouds can form in the sky. B, clouds can be red and green. Or C, clouds can rip open like bags. Number 2, what in the story is make believe? A, a girl watches clouds. B, a girl runs outside. Or C, rain falls at 2 o'clock every day. Number 3, what in the story is make believe? A, candy falls from the sky. B, candy comes in colors. Or C, lollipops are candy. I think you know that one. That's a pretty easy one. All right. And for the bottom on the sight words, it says circle the 2 words that are the same. Circle the 2 words that are the same. Circle the 2 words that are the same. Guys, that is your reading lesson for today. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you tomorrow in Zoom. We'll be going on to week 17, day number 2. All right. Make sure you have your worksheets ready. See you then.